If a shark cuts the internet cable at the bottom of the sea, how is it fixed? How do we know where the cable is broken in the sea of thousands of miles? From this video, the entire YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and even the entire global tech system are connected to each other through the internet today, and 99% of the internet traffic is passed through the hidden cables at the bottom of the sea, a highway of such traffic that we use daily but can't see. The network of undersea cables is so big that they connect all continents together. These cables are placed at a depth of more than 8,000 meters, where the pressure is 5,300 kilograms per square inch. It is like a human foot's smallest finger is being put under the weight of an African elephant. Under this much pressure, the smallest part of the undersea cables is passing from Azerbaijan to Turkmenistan under the Black Sea, which is about 300 kilometers long, and the biggest part is 6,600 kilometers long, which is called Maria Cable. It starts from Virginia Beach in America, reaches the Atlantic Ocean from the depths of darkness, and ends at the mouth of Spain. If we talk about the cables that are placed in all the seas in the world, all in all, the length of all these cables is more than 14 lakh kilometers. So much that if these cables are wrapped around all the planets and moons of our solar system, then still so many cables will be saved that they can make a round trip around the Earth again. Now, it is obvious that it is not easy to put such long cables in the sea at a depth of 8,000 meters. It costs at most 25 lakh US dollars to put a 1-kilometer submarine cable. So now you can imagine how much it would have cost to install a cable of 14 lakh kilometers. But what was the need to do all this? When in today's era, this work can be done by connecting the whole world wirelessly with the help of satellites. In fact, there are 493 submarine cables in the world. Each cable can withstand the data of 4,000 terabits in just 1 second. Consider it as if 8 crore people can stream 4K movies together on one cable, and there are such 493 cables. On the other hand, if this work is done by satellite, then only 24,000 people will be able to watch the same 4K movie on one satellite. Now, to meet the demands of people, it will be necessary to install as many satellites as possible, in which the expense will be more and maintenance will also be more. Compared to submarine cable, satellite maintenance is more costly and difficult, and if there is a major fault in the satellite, then it will have to bear the cost of 40 crore US dollars to replace it. This is why it is easier to place thousands of kilometers of cable under the sea than satellite or wireless connectivity. In this undersea highway, millions of gigabytes of data are traveling every time. This means that this highway will be quite wide. This means that these cables will be thicker than a normal home fiber optic cable, but it is not like that. This yellow and black cable looks as thick as a hose pipe, but the fiber optic cable passing through it is as thin as hair. So now the question arises that how is so much data sent through such a thin wire? This wire is called the core of fiber optic, which is made of glass or plastic. Light passes through it, which travels the data in small packets. First of all, the data in the computer is converted from an electrical signal to a light signal using a transmitter. Transmitters do this work through laser light or LED. This light signal is transmitted or sent in the form of a pulse, which has only 2 parts, ones and zeros. Light pulse shows 1, and when there is no pulse, it shows 0. Taking these pulses from one place to another is the core work in which light travels. There is a layer outside this core called cladding, and this layer prevents light from leaving the core. If light tries to leave the core, cladding bounces it back inside the core, is called total internal reflection. Now, at a greater distance, this light signal becomes weak, for which a repeater is installed after every 100 kilometers, which boosts the light signal. To complete this part, a layer of copper is applied on the core and cladding, in which 10,000 volts DC current is sent. Because there is no power source between the oceans, so to power these amplifiers, a current passed through the copper layer is brought into action. Fiber optic cables have the ability to transmit more than one signal at a time. This technique is called wavelength division multiplexing, or WDM. The light of different colors is passed through fiber optics at a time, and each color has different data packets. As you know, the speed of light is 1,079,000,000 kilometers per hour. This means that the data is transmitted from one place to another by the speed of light. When it reaches thousands of kilometers, this data is converted into electrical signals again with the help of photodiode or photodetector, and then computer or mobile device reconstructs it and brings it to graphics or any form. And other than copper layer, the reason for the thickness of the submarine cable is that it has 7 more layers on top of it, whose work is to save the cable from the extreme pressure of water. But even after that, this cable gets damaged by earthquakes, shark attacks, and volcanic eruptions in the sea. But the biggest reason for the damage of the submarine cable is fishing. Some vessels hunt the fish living at the bottom of the sea with this trawl door, which is connected to a rope. This trawl door is pulled to the bottom and dragged to the ocean floor, and the fish get stuck in it. When this trawl door is accidentally thrown at the place of the submarine cable, the cable is damaged because of the drag. Now here you must be thinking of one question, that if submarine cables get damaged in such a vast sea, then how do they be repaired? It is a matter of time to fix it. But first of all, how is the location of the thousands of kilometers of wire damaged? Let me tell you that modern submarine cables are 1 inch thick, and the weight of a kilometer wire is about 1,400 kilograms. That is, as much as a sedan car. Thousands of kilometers of wire are installed in one piece at the bottom of the sea with the help of special ships. After complete research, when a special area is selected, the large rolls of the wire are brought to the ship and brought to that location. And a special robotic machine that allows the sea to walk on the floor is used to dig a meter of floor, and cable is laid along with it. This is a slow process, which needs to be done very carefully. According to an estimate, it took about 2 years to install the 6,600-kilometer wire between the US and Europe. When the wire in one vessel is finished, the other vessel filled with the cable is ordered, and the work of connecting the first wire with the new wire is further advanced. The biggest obstacle in this whole process is the weather. In the Atlantic Ocean, there are 365 days of strong winds per year, and no one can stop these winds from forming a sea storm. In the Atlantic Ocean, there are often hurricanes of Category 1. Even now, when I am researching for the video, there is a hurricane of Category 1 in the Atlantic Ocean, which will reach the coast of Ireland on the 23rd of August, as per the forecast. Due to hurricanes or a strong storm, installation work is paused for several days until the weather is clear. Now that the installation work is so difficult, think about how difficult the repair work will be. There are data centers at both the endpoints of the submarine cable, which monitor the activity of the cable 24/7. As soon as the connection of both ends breaks, it means that the cable is broken in the middle of the sea. To find out where the 1,000-kilometer wire is damaged from, a special device is used, which is called an optical time domain reflector. This device sends a light pulse from both ends, and because the cable is broken, the light pulse bounces back. The pulse that comes back is returned in how much time and how much signal strength is left. It is estimated that exactly how many kilometers after the cable is damaged. This process is done from both ends and verified that the location of both is the same or not. Now DC supply from both ends, i.e. the current left in the cable, is turned off, and the ROVs are sent to the bottom of the sea at that location. First, physically the cable is insulated with the help of ROVs, and then the cable is removed and brought to the upper vessel. The damaged part of the cable is cut, and the second piece is attached to it. The fiber optic core is made of glass, so this work has to be done very carefully, so that one glass is attached to the other as it was in one piece. This process is called splicing. If the cable is too low or the bottom of the sea is too low, then first one part is lifted up, then another extra wire is joined and placed down again. Then this process is done at the other end of the broken wire. How does the use of submarine fiber optic cable work? Installation and repair. I hope you will like and share this video. Thank you for your lovely comments. See you in the next video.